Hey guys, welcome to this session. I am Jeet Gupta and I will begin by talking a bit about Penguin Recovery Jeet. In the last few days I've got several questions about the functioning and I've been trying to help people through the support desk. I've been talking directly to a lot of people and helping them with the software. Basically the aim is to help people get started with it, to know how it functions, to help them get the most out of it. And I've been also getting some reports of some issues or problems, and I've been working to fix those or giving people workarounds around those problems. So in this session I want to talk about some things that are a part of the software that you might not know about, or that you might not have realized that this is a part of the software, or that this feature is already included. So I want to start with that. I want to talk about Penguin Recovery Jeet. I want to take you once more through the entire software, touching mostly on the parts that I neglected in the last training, and the other bits I will go along with them pretty briefly. So well, you need a domain to get started, and we already have a domain, so I'm gonna go with that. And this is a list of the websites or the list of the domains that are linking to your site, or the sites that are giving you backlinks. Now you will notice that some of them are grayed out, and if you try to uncheck them, you can't uncheck them, and others are darker, and if you want, you can uncheck the checkbox next to them. Well, the difference is the grayed out sites are the ones that have been already analyzed by Penguin Recovery Jeet. So if you mark a site for analysis, for example, if I mark this site for analysis, I click next, and Penguin Recovery Jeet does some sort of analysis with the site. It will save the analysis to the database, and it will make this site grayed out. It will make this site unremovable from the list of the sites that you're going to check. Why? Because you've already checked it, and it's not possible to check it again because you don't need to. So it's saving the data that is collected for this site in the database, and because it wants to show you that this site has been checked already, there is a permanent checkbox next to it, and it's grayed out so that you know that it's already checked and it won't be checked in the analysis. So if you got a lot of domains linking to your site, for example, I have 980, it might not be possible for you to check all the 980 domains in one go because it takes a lot of time to check the domains. Penguin Recovery Jeet runs several kinds of checks. So you might want to do that in batches, say of 150 or 100, and run it 9 different times. Well, you can do that. What you need to do is select the domains that you want to check. For example, maybe I want to check these many, and click on next. Penguin Recovery Jeet will only check these domains, finish the checking, and save the information to the database. When you load the program again at a later stage, at a later time, you will be able to check other domains, and these domains will be marked already that they're checked. You won't have to check them again. So this is a very powerful feature, and it's very helpful because if you're trying to check a lot of domains, it can save you a lot of time. You can check 100 domain or 50 domains or 150 domains, whatever you want. Come back later and check more domains. In fact, that's what I do. I always start by checking some of the domains that I find are more important and might be sending me more wrong links, and I ignore the domains that I know are safe. For example, if you take this list, there are some pretty high profile domains over here, things like Blogspot or YouTube or several other websites of that grade, WordPress, FolkD, StumbleUpon, and many other, Tumblr or Pinterest. And all of these websites, they don't really need to be checked because you know that they're high PR domains, very respectable domains, and you don't need to check them because you know that any link coming to you from these domains is not going to be negative scored. It's not going to be penalized, so you can be pretty safe about them. So I ignore these domains I only go with the domains that I think are questionable, domains that I haven't heard of, or the domains that are smaller. And you know what, if you want, you can just right click on any domain and click on visit domain to see it, to find out how good it is or how bad it is, which will give you a quick insight into what you can expect from that domain. So if you're doubtful about any particular domain, is it a good domain or a bad domain, just visit it, see what it's got on the page, and it will help you cut down this list further and do less processing, which might save you more time, because checking the domain by right clicking only takes a moment. Alright, so once you've actually selected what domains you want to work with, and you've got them checked and marked like this, you can click on next. And now you will be asked to select what kind of checks you want to run on these domains. And I want to go with a little bit more detail in these checks, but not on this screen. I want to go through these checks in the results screen. Basically, you can choose not to do any check you want, but I highly recommend against it, because it's important for Penguin Recovery Jeet to perform all the checks, to get all the data, so that it can give you accurate analysis. Alright, so I'm gonna leave all the boxes here checked. I'm not gonna remove any option, and going to click on next. And now Penguin Recovery Jeet will actually check the domains. Alright, so the analysis is now ready. So I was talking about the 2 steps of Penguin Recovery Jeet, or the 2 steps in which Penguin Recovery Jeet finishes its analysis earlier. So I want to talk a bit more about it. So the 2 steps that Penguin Recovery Jeet has to finish the analysis, or to do the analysis, is number 1, check the domain, and number 2, check the backlinks for the domain. So the first thing it does is check the entire domain that you're getting the link from. Is the domain a good quality domain? Is it safe to get a link from it? Is it a popular domain? And all these factors are checked by Penguin Recovery Jeet, and based on that analysis, it gives you the domain report, which is on my screen right now. So I want you to go through this screen, go through this report, and I want you to understand what exactly are the components of this report, because I got a lot of questions from buyers who were not able to understand what each component is and how it affects the overall ranking of the domain, how it affects the analysis. In the second step, once we have decided what domains are safe, what domains are unsafe, and what domains are actually somewhere on the borderline in which Penguin Recovery Jeet thinks it's not entirely safe, it's not entirely unsafe, and Penguin Recovery Jeet wants to check the individual backlinks just to make sure. So we can actually influence all of this. Even though Penguin Recovery Jeet does give you a default course of action, you can change it, you can make it do whatever you want to do. But before that, you need to understand how the analysis is done and what are the factors. So the first thing you will find in this spreadsheet, in this table, is the domain name. For example, this domain, blogwani.com, and then the action, which is the result, or which is the conclusion of the analysis. So Penguin Recovery Jeet thinks this is a safe domain because of the stats it has, and we will talk about the stats in a moment. But if you want to change the outcome of this analysis, you can do it. For that, all you need to do is to click on the safe domain box over here, or disavow domain, whatever the case may be, and it will turn into a drop down. If you expand the list, you will see 3 options: disavow domain, check links, and safe domain, and it's all color coded. So the domains which are disavowed, or which are found to be bad quality, they will be in the red background to tell you very clearly that it's not a good domain for you and it might get you penalized. So you might not want a link from it. The safe domains will be in a green background, which will tell you it's a safe domain. You don't need to worry about it. it can be in your favor to get a link from this domain. And in the middle lies the checklinks domain, or the domain which is found to be safe, but it's not found to be extremely safe. And that's why Penguin Recovery Jeet is advising that you check the individual links. But you can change the outcome yourself. Suppose I decide for some reason that this domain over here, pd-myfreegb.net, is not a safe domain, and I want to change it to checklinks, which means I want to check the individual links from this domain. I can do so. I can set it to checklinks. Or if I decide for some reason that this is a very unsafe domain, I can mark it disavow, or I can mark it a disavow domain, and then this domain will not be checked. The individual backlinks from this domain will not be checked, and this entire domain is disavowed. I want you to remember this important concept. Anything which is red is disavowed. I want you to remember this important concept. Anything which is red is disavowed. So if this domain has a red background, only this domain will be disavowed. The green domains will not be disavowed. The orange domains will not be disavowed. So I want you to remember it, because in the final disavow file that we prepare using Penguin Recovery Jeet, only the red domains will be listed. The green domains won't be listed. The orange domains won't be listed, which means all the safe domains won't be listed, and all the domains which are found on the edge, they won't be listed. Instead, individual backlinks will be checked from them, and the individual backlinks will be analyzed. The final disavow report, or the final disavow file that you need to submit to Google, will always only have the bad quality backlinks and the bad quality domains, because that's what you need to tell the Google about. So don't be surprised when in the final list you find that out of the analysis of say 900 domains, you find only 100 domains over there, because these might be the domains that are bad quality, and these might be the domains that need to be disavowed. All right, so once you're satisfied with whatever changes you've made, you can again, as in the earlier screen, click on visit domain to visit any particular domain and see how it is and how it's working for you. So suppose you want to check this website, gujaratwebs.com, right click, click on visit domain, and it will load your default browser. It will go to the website, and you can have a look and decide whether this website looks like a decent website to you or like a bad website, and you can decide whether you want a link from it or not. So these things can actually influence your decision, and they can help you decide whether you agree with Penguin Recovery Jeet's analysis or not. Now let's talk about some more points. The second point is the links. The second factor is the links. It will tell you exactly how many links are you getting from this website. For example, from this website, I'm getting 240,000 links. That's a whole big bunch of links. And this will actually help you decide whether is this website a valuable website for you? Is it something that's in your network? Is it something that's just sending you one backlink or sending you 5 backlinks, whatever? Just one point to help you make your decision. The second is the age of the domain. It's how old the domain is, and this is in years. So blogwani.com is 8 years old, yahoo.com is 20 years old, and Daily WebRank is 3 years old, and these domains are very fresh. They're less than a year old, or for some reason, it can happen in some cases, Penguin Recovery Jeet was not able to get the age. In that case, suppose you think something is missing, you can right click and click on recheck, and Penguin Recovery Jeet will run a check on that domain again, and if some data point was missing earlier, it will get it. And this can take a few seconds because, as you know, there are a number of parameters to check, but when it's done, the thing cursor will change into the pointer again, and you will see any fresh data that Penguin Recovery Jeet might have been able to get. Okay, so in this case, we could not get any more data than what we already have. So the second thing is the number of backlinks that are on Google for this website. So you will see some websites have 74,000 backlinks pointing to them, some have 5,000, and Yahoo has an impossible number, and some have 0 or some have 6k. Whatever the number is, that number decides how important or how valuable the domain is. And the sites with more backlinks are obviously better indexed in Google, and they're more important for Google. And if you find a site that has no backlinks, it means that it's suffering, it might be suffering from some kind of penalty, or Google might have de-indexed it, which is possible if it's a spammy site. So you don't want a backlink from such a domain. All right, so I'm gonna mark this back to safe domain. So that will actually help you decide whether the domain is of high value or not for Google. Then the second pointer is blacklisted. Is this domain in any of the blacklists? Penguin Recovery Jeet uses some very popular backlist APIs to check whether a domain is on a blacklist or not. And if a domain is found on a blacklist, it will be marked as that, and that will decide whether it's a good quality domain or not. Because if a domain is blacklisted, then it's certainly not a good domain. The next check is Pagerank, and the Pagerank is an important factor. It decides how important the website is. It's not the only important factor, but it's very important. So Penguin Recovery Jeet will check the Pagerank of each website that we are analyzing, and that will also be a part of the algorithm which decides whether it's a high quality domain or not. Some of the domains, as you can see, are 0 PageRank, and these domains are the domains that are either very fresh and Google has not really got down to ranking them, or they are penalized domains. For example, check this one out. This is a 3-year-old domain with the 0 PageRank. It's pretty evident that this could be a pretty bad domain. It might be penalized for some reason, and that's why it has a 0 PageRank. Then we have pages indexed in Google. So this will tell you how many pages or how many pages from this site are indexed within Google. So you can see that some sites have more pages indexed, some sites have less pages indexed, but whatever the number is, it will help you decide whether the site is valuable or not. So if you see a site that has 28k pages indexed or 7530k pages indexed, you know that it's a pretty big site and you don't really need to worry about getting a link from this site. So for example, you can maybe mark this website safe if you want, because it's got a lot of backlinks, it's got a lot of pages indexed, and it's a new website. It's not an old website, so maybe it's not penalized. It's just a new website which is coming up in Google. So all of these factors you have to keep in mind. Then Penguin Recovery Jeet also records the IP addresses of the domains, and this is to spot the blog networks, because Google really hates blog networks right now. If you are creating a blog network or you are a part of a blog network, Google will not let you rank that easily. So Penguin Recovery Jeet spots whether you are on a blog network using data like IP, the registrant name, the name server of the site, and all of this information actually tells Google which sites have a common owner, and Google will actually use the same kind of analysis to find out which site has a common owner. And Penguin Recovery Jeet will try and not get links from the sites which have a common owner, because that's not helpful for you at all. Then we have the malicious check. Is this site marked a malicious site by Google or by Firefox? Because if a site is marked malicious, immediately Google will de-rank it, and a link from such a site is definitely very bad for you. It also checks whether the site is up, whether it has got any links inside Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is considered an authority source. Any site that has a link to you, any site that has a link from Wikipedia is considered an authority site and is considered generally a pretty safe site. So if you see a site that has a link from Wikipedia, you know that it's a valuable site. And it also checks whether you are getting a site-wide link from this website. Now site-wide links are pretty discouraged by Google right now. They don't like it. So if you got a site-wide link coming to you from a site, Google will try and penalize it, or Google might penalize it. So it will tell you whether a site has a site-wide link to you, and that site will be obviously considered less valuable than a site which has just a proper link to you, an organic link to you. Finally, it also has a database of the article directories, and if a site is found that it's an article directory, it will be ranked lower, because article directories are really hated by Google right now. They don't like it at all. So if you got a link coming from any article directory, it will be considered less valuable, and it might turn up red. So all of these factors are actually a part of the algorithm. Some other factors also there which were in the list that we saw. So all of these factors are a part of the algorithm that Penguin Recovery Jeet uses to discover the bad websites and to discover the good websites. And the bad websites are marked lower, they are made red or orange if they are not bad but just a little marginal, and you don't know whether you should go with them or not. Then it checks the individual links. But whatever the system is, it will give you a result which you can change if you want to. I can change anything I want using this option. And finally, when I'm ready, I can click on next. And now we have finished one step of the process. We have finished checking the domains, and now it's time to check the individual backlinks. Again, I want to tell you, Penguin Recovery Jeet will check the backlinks only for the orange domains, only for the domains that are marked checklinks. It will not check the backlinks for disavow domains. It will not check the backlinks for safe domains. It will check the backlinks only for the domains that are marked for checking. So no need to check the backlinks for the safe domains because they're already safe, and no need to check the backlinks from a disavow domain because the entire domain is disavowed, and any link which is coming from this domain is already disavowed. Alright, so back to this again. We have a certain number of checks. You can choose to check them, or you can choose to uncheck these checks. We have checks like too many outgoing URLs. If a page has many outgoing URLs, the page rank is diluted, the link juice is diluted, and you don't need a link from such a page. If the URL is blacklisted, it's definitely not healthy for you. And it has some options. For example, if it finds that if at least the first 30 links are good in the domain check, suppose you're checking 300 links, and it takes a lot of time to check each link. So if you find that the first 30 links are perfectly okay, you can choose to mark all the other links okay and just end the analysis for that domain right there. And the second option is mark links from a domain as safe if the first 100 are good. I'm sorry, I reversed it. So in this particular case, we mark the entire site bad if at least 30% of the first 100 links checked are bad. So if in the first 100 links checked you find that any 30 are bad, this entire domain will be marked as bad, which is actually a good course of action. And the second part is mark the entire domain safe if the first 100 links checked are good, which is actually a good idea, because if you find that out of 300-400 links, if you have that many links coming to you from a single site, the first 100 are good, then no need to check all the others. And then we have things like whether this website, our website, the website that we are working with, is ranked on Google for the keyword that we are linking for. If you're linking for a keyword that you're not ranking for at all, that Google is not indexing you for at all, that means that keyword is penalized and you should lose that rank. Similarly, we have a check which tells us whether this page has too many money keywords coming out of it, or there are too many money keywords on the page, because if there are too many money keywords, Google finds it spammy and Google will penalize it. Finally, it checks whether the page has no external links at all pointing to it, which means that it's not a high quality page and might not be considered a very good page by Google. So finally, when you're ready to do all these checks, you can click on begin now, and Penguin Recovery Jeet will get the backlinks from Google Webmasters, or if you have submitted a list of backlinks, then it will get the backlinks from the database, and whatever the case is, finally you will be able to check the individual backlinks. Click on begin now, and now Penguin Recovery Jeet is checking the individual backlinks. Now you need to get the distinction clear in head. The first time we checked, we were checking the domains, the entire domains, and the set of criteria, the set of parameters were totally different from what we are checking the individual backlinks for. The parameters are totally different, and this will again take some minutes. And when the analysis finishes, you will see a list of the backlinks along with the analysis result. Now we have 2 backlinks from the domain that we selected. There was only one domain that was marked for checking, and we see the analysis. There are no outgoing links, there are no money keywords, it's not blacklisted, and the keyword is ranking. We are ranking for the keyword. There are no external links pointing to this, but overall analysis says that this is a safe link, it's not a toxic link. And the safe links will be marked green usually if they're coming from a safe domain, but this was actually coming from a toxic domain, so that's why it's marked orange, because we changed the status of a toxic domain to check links, and we're checking it. So it's just a warning to tell you that the domain itself may not be so good. So the individual backlink is okay, but the domain itself may not be so good. And if you want, again, you can click on visit backlink and see the page where the link is coming from. It's a PDF file in this case, so you can see that the PDF file is sending you this link from within the PDF. Anyway, so finally usually you will get a bigger analysis. If you check many more domains, you will get a bigger number of backlinks. Some of them will be green, which means they're safe. Some of them will be red, which means they're unsafe, and the ones that are orange are safe, but the domain itself that they're coming from, the domain itself is toxic. And again, you can change things. If you want, you can mark a link toxic, or you can mark a link safe. Whatever you want, you can do. And like I said earlier, in the final report, you will get only those domains which are marked toxic and only those backlinks which are marked toxic. So when you're done with this, just click on next here, and you will be able to generate a disavow file by clicking on the generate disavow file button. You'll be able to save a disavow file. For example, let's call our file disavow.txt, and let's see how it looks. So this is the disavow file that we've created. There are 3 domains which are marked for disavowing and 1 backlink that was found. So you will be able to submit this file to Google. If you click on the submit disavow file button over here, it will load up your web browser with the disavow page, and you can submit this file to Google, or you can go to your Google Webmasters account manually and submit the file. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Now I want to tell you that Penguin Recovery Jeet has actually saved the details of the domains that we analyzed, and if we load it up again, it will mark these domains as gray. Let me show you. I'm just gonna jump to that. So I've started Penguin Recovery Jeet again, and I'm clicking on the domain that we're checking over here. Again, I want to use the existing data, because if you remove the existing data, then it will start the analysis afresh. So don't do it if you want to continue with the older batch, with the older analysis that you did. And now if I click on the reverse selection button over here, I will see that the domains I analyzed, like these, Hindi Jyotish, Yahoo, and other domains, they are all grayed out and they're marked, which means that they won't be analyzed again. And some of the domains I think were right from the bottom. If I can find them over here, scrolling down, okay, they should be, yep. So these were the domains that I analyzed, and you will find that they are marked for that they are analyzed already, and they are marked gray, which means I don't have to analyze them again. And when Penguin Recovery Jeet does the analysis again, it will only do it for the domain that you add. So this way you can do your analysis in batches and save time. You can probably do it over some time if you want. So these are some additional things that I wanted to tell you about Penguin Recovery Jeet. And I just want to tell you that I've been getting some feedback and some suggestions, and I'll be working over the next few days, next 7 or 10 days, to add many of the features that my buyers have suggested to me, that my users have suggested to me. and the updates will be automatically delivered to you. Whenever there is a new update, you will get a notification and you'll be able to download and install it on your computer. So this is all for today, and I want to take this opportunity to introduce to you a new product which will help you in your rankings, which will help you get better rankings on Google, which will help you earn a lot of money. So over to this amazing new product which will really transform the way you do your SEO. This is all from Cyril Jeet, signing off right now. On to the next product. Stay for it and you will definitely love what it does for you.